Pleasant Grove Police.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Can I have an officer come to this address?
And your name?
My name's Darren West. I just found something in my garage. I think it's a miscarriage.
Can you be more specific? What do you mean by a miscarriage you found?
I have no idea. Just please send an officer up here.
It sounds like you may need medical.
It's been wrapped up in a plastic bag and it stinks.
Okay, what is it?
It's a little baby.
In the quiet suburb of Pleasant Grove, Utah, the morning of April 12, 2014, began like any other. Rows of neat homes lined the street, the Wasatch Mountains looming peacefully in the distance. But behind one of those doors, in a garage filled with boxes, dust, and memories of a family long gone, lay a secret that would shake an entire community.
And I just said, what the hell is this? What have you done? I always found something, and she goes, oh, you did?
Get there for it.
Don't call the police, don't call the police, I'm gonna get it.
It started with a simple act of cleaning. Darren West, recently released from prison and hoping to put his life back together, returned to the home he once shared with his estranged wife, Huntsman. The house had sat largely untouched for years, and as he worked to clear the garage, he came across something that made him stop cold. A small, sealed box, heavier than it should have been. When the box was opened, what he found inside was beyond comprehension. Within hours, the Pleasant Grove Police Department had surrounded the home, tape fluttering in the wind, neighbors staring in disbelief. Soon, detectives would uncover not one, but several small boxes, each concealing the same unspeakable truth.
I remember there being some sort of form of tape. As we got deeper into that box, we'd find a second child.
Who lives here?
Us three.
1, 2, 3?
It's a double house. The basement and the upstairs are two different.
My two daughters live here. See, we've been cleaning the garage.
Okay.
And then got a 48-hour pass, and I have...
Here. We went on home and my dad was in a halfway house. You've been cleaning out the garage.
I'm trying to get, because I've been gone for so long. And
anyway, there was a box over there. It was all wrapped up. And he says, what is this?
Behind the calm facade of this suburban street, a hidden history of death had been quietly accumulating for nearly a decade. As investigators began their search, they discovered that the home's former occupant, Huntsman, had once lived here with her husband Darren and their 3 daughters. To the outside world, they were an ordinary family, troubled perhaps, but ordinary. Yet the reality was far darker. Between 1996 and 2006, something had been happening inside those walls that no one had suspected. When detectives located Huntsman, she appeared calm, almost detached. She no longer lived in Pleasant Grove. She had been staying elsewhere, away from the memories of her past. But when officers sat her down to question her about what had been discovered in her old home, her words would leave even the most seasoned investigators in silence.
Well, you know why we're here, what we're here to talk about. Just start at the beginning and tell me what happened.
Well, we were doing drugs a lot. That's what he was in prison for. I got pregnant right before he left, and I really didn't know because I thought it was just stress and stuff.
And he went to prison in 2006?
Yeah.
How far along were you when he went?
A couple months.
Where did you have the baby?
In the house, in the bathroom.
In the house that you and Darren lived in? Okay. Describe to me what happened.
Well, I was having a lot of pain that day. I didn't go to work. My kids were at school, and I went in the bathroom and just sat there and just pushed really hard. And I was blue and wasn't crying. And I was by myself, and I didn't know what to do. And I couldn't get it to cry or anything.
Then what happened?
I got scared and I wrapped it up. Not being smart and calling you guys, I was in shock. It was stupid of me to do it.
What do you mean when you say you wrapped it up?
You from there. It was towels or garlic butter or something. I put it in a box.
What would you have done differently, looking back?
Called the cops and told them that I had a baby and that I couldn't get to breathe and have the paramedics and stuff come.
She admitted that the boxes in the garage were hers, that she alone was responsible for what they contained, and she spoke without hesitation. As the interview unfolded, detectives listened, stunned, as Huntsman described a pattern that spanned 10 years, a decade during which she hid her pregnancies from nearly everyone around her. Her reasoning was chillingly simple. She claimed her life had spiraled into addiction, that she was trapped in a relationship she no longer wanted, and that another child, she said, would have complicated things.
Okay, so you're on the toilet, you have the baby. You said you tried to get it to breathe. What did you do?
Well, I tried just to clean his mouth out and stuff, and I couldn't get a response at all.
Okay.
I couldn't feel a heartbeat or anything.
Okay. So you clean the baby's mouth out, try to get it to breathe, and then what?
I passed out for a little bit. I think I lost a lot of blood. And then I just remember my kids got home from school and I just told them I wasn't feeling them. And then I cleaned myself up and I went and got a box.
And then, as far as you know, unless someone else moved it, the baby's been in the box in the garage since that first year that Darren went to prison. Okay.
We clean that garage every year, so.
Were you worried somebody else would find it when you guys were cleaning the garage?
Yeah.
And so what would you do to make sure that didn't happen?
I just kind of slide it and like sweep around, and then set stuff on it and, well, they knew that part was already clean. So. Because I was so scared, I don't know what I was thinking. I have no idea.
Do you remember if the baby was a boy or a girl? So, did anyone else know that you were pregnant?
I don't show at all.
Did you tell Darren?
No, I never.
Okay. Had you ever had any stillborn babies prior to that?
Miscarriages.
And on these miscarriages, did they all happen at home?
What happened at home?
All right. Is there anything else that you think I should have asked you that I haven't asked you?
I don't think so.
Is there anything else that you want me to know?
No.
And we really want the right thing for this baby, a proper burial and closure for you and for your family. Your husband went to prison, you're raising the kids on your own, and you're overwhelmed, and I can understand that. I mean, Darren just found out that he had another kid that he didn't know about, so.
I totally understand that.
What do you think proper closure looks like? Anything else?
Me going to jail.
Well, it's clear that we think you should go to jail for this, that you recognize you've done something wrong. We haven't made any decisions like that. We're still just trying to put the story together at this point.
The officers left that room shaken. They had not just uncovered a crime scene, they had uncovered a timeline of despair, deceit, and deliberate concealment. This is Behind the Crime Tape. If you're here, you care about truth, the kind that hides behind closed doors and quiet neighborhoods. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to support our work in bringing real cases like this to light. Now, let's return to Pleasant Grove, where detectives were about to learn just how far this story would go.
We have investigators in the house right now. They found a second baby. Will you please tell me about that?
There's more. Hey, I'm sorry. I have hit every one of them, and he had to have known I was pregnant through most of them.
There's others? How many?
I'm not even sure. I was on so many drugs and stuff during it all. I can't even remember.
When?
All through the years.
When investigators began searching the Pleasant Grove home, they thought they were dealing with a single tragedy. But the deeper they went into the cluttered garage, the more they realized this wasn't a single act. It was a pattern. Everywhere they looked, there were boxes, sealed, stacked, and forgotten. Each one wrapped carefully in plastic and electrical tape, as if someone had tried desperately to hide not just what was inside, but the shame attached to it. Within hours, a second body was found, then a third, then a fourth. By the time the search ended, detectives had uncovered 7 tiny remains, 7 newborn infants, each concealed with methodical precision.
And if it's easier for you to remember, if we want to start after you had your first child, when you had the first miscarriage.
One, right after I moved in, I can't even remember. I remember when I got in the tub. They were all stillborn. Every one of them.
Were they full term?
No, they were without pain.
Okay, so how many do you think will we find in the garage?
4.
Did you put all 4 in the garage?
Yeah.
Did you keep them in the same place in the garage? What did you? Right
It's
there.
covered.
Okay, and so all 4 boxes are in the same place? Okay, well, I just want to be able to relay to the detectives what they're gonna find. And so all 4
Yes.
are in the
Yes.
cabinet in the garage.
Yes.
Why didn't you call for help?
I'm afraid of people know I'm pregnant.
I mean, this is Utah. It's not common for people to have a lot of kids.
Because I was young. Because I was so young.
Several years later, though, when this happened, I mean, you're not so young.
I know. But like I said, the drugs, they mess with you. Bad.
So you're telling me that because you were on drugs, you weren't making good decisions?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it feel better to tell the truth?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, just a minute.
The garage was silent, heavy with the kind of stillness that comes when horror meets disbelief. Officers who had seen everything stood speechless. It wasn't just the number, it was the intent. Each one of these children, investigators now realized, had been hidden by the same woman, their mother, Megan Huntsman. At the same time, Megan sat in an interrogation room with Detective Beckstrom, a veteran investigator who had handled countless cases. But nothing had prepared him for this. She spoke quietly, almost emotionless, about her years of addiction, her marriage, and the choices that led to that garage. She said she'd been using meth daily, that when her husband Darren went to prison, she felt trapped, left to raise 3 daughters on her own. She said she couldn't face another child, that she didn't know what to do, that she was scared. But when Beckstrom pressed her further, asking whether the babies had been stillborn, her story began to crumble. At first, she insisted they were all born dead. Then she paused, and finally, in a near whisper, she admitted that some had been alive, if only for a few moments.
I want to make sure that there's no more weight on your shoulders. Okay. When you have these babies,
Yes.
you said after they were born and they were blue and you would try to get them to breathe. What would you do to try to get them to breathe?
Sometimes I was so scared, you know.
I don't know, I'm sorry.
Sorry, you like shake them, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Did you have like the suction cup they used to clean out their mouths?
No, just use my finger and stuff.
You described you had the one in the tub, that you filled the tub and had.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
Was that baby alive when it was born?
I think it was. For a short time.
What happened?
Well, you think if I have baby in the house, I just cry, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you say you think it was for a short time. What was it moving? Did it start to breathe?
No, it wasn't breathing. I could see a little heartbeat and then it stopped.
Okay. For about how long?
Not very long at all.
Okay. The one that you had when he was in prison that you were on the toilet. Was that one alive when it was born? Okay. Where were the other 2 born?
One on the bed and the other on the back.
Okay. The one on the bed when it was born. Do you think it might have been alive for a short time as well?
Am I up?
I did it, she said. I killed them. The confession was staggering. Even for seasoned detectives, it was almost too much to process.
Did you kill the baby after it was born? What we need is the truth.
I did one of them.
Which one?
Here's the right there. No, I was just so scared. I was so on drugs so bad. I choked it.
How did you choke it?
Urine.
Do you think all 4 of these babies were alive when they were born?
I'm pretty sure one of them wasn't.
And did you choke the others?
Yes, I did.
And you put them in a towel put them in garbage bags, and then put them in a box and put it in the garage. So one was dead when it was born, and the other three died. And why did you go home?
I don't know. Scared, I was in shock.
Have you ever told anyone this?
No, I've never told a soul.
So when we run DNA tests, will they all be Darren's?
Yes, they will.
Is there anything else we need to know about?
No.
All right.
When Beckstrom left the room, he later said he could barely breathe, that it was one of the hardest moments of his entire career. Back at the crime scene, the search continued. Detectives found remains spanning nearly a decade, from 1996 to 2006. Each baby had been hidden shortly after birth, each box a silent record of an unthinkable act. Lab results would later confirm what investigators feared. All 7 children were biologically fathered by Darren West, the same man who had made the 911 call that started it all. He had never known, not one of the pregnancies, not one of the births, not one of the deaths. When detectives told him, his face fell into his hands. He could barely speak.
Wait, so she says they're all mine?
That's what she says. And that's why I'm glad you're here, because I would have thought that if she was pregnant 7 times in the 10-year period that you lived in that house, that surely you would have known.
Holy What do you want me to say? I didn't know she was killing kids, and I didn't know she was put in boxes. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how she could give birth and then I don't know.
Were you there when any of these were born?
No, sir. No, sir. I swear.
What we want to do is we want to do what's right. We want to have closure for these children. We want to have closure for your kids that are alive. For these babies' grandparents. I mean, these babies were in a garage for years.
I never knew that, though. I never knew that. I don't want to say nothing else. This is looking bad. I had no idea that she was killing kids and putting them in boxes. I swear to God.
Okay.
But I want an attorney, though. Wouldn't you?
I can't give you that advice. I'm not in your situation, and I don't think I ever will be.
No, you won't.
So. Okay. All right, hold on just a second. We'll get you upstairs in just a minute.
As the case unfolded, the question on everyone's mind was simple. Why? Why would a mother do this? What darkness had taken hold of her so completely that she could repeat it again and again, 7 times, without anyone noticing? Prosecutors argued that it wasn't just drugs or desperation. It was calculation. Huntsman had deliberately concealed each pregnancy, given birth in secret, and taken the lives of her children moments after they entered the world. She kept the bodies wrapped and hidden for years, even as she raised her other 3 daughters just a few feet away. In 2015, Megan Huntsman stood before a Utah judge and pleaded guilty to 6 counts of murder. One of the infants, she insisted, had been stillborn, though investigators could never fully confirm which one. The judge gave her the maximum penalty, 6 terms of 5 years to life, to be served consecutively, effectively a life sentence. In court, she said she was sorry. But for the families, for the officers who had opened those boxes, and for an entire community forever haunted by what lay behind one garage door, sorry would never be enough. The case of Megan Huntsman remains one of the most disturbing family crimes in modern American history, not for its violence, but for its silence. For 10 years, 7 lives began and ended in secrecy, in a home surrounded by neighbors, friends, and family who never suspected a thing. Some say drugs drove her to it. Others say it was something deeper, an emptiness no one could see. But whatever the reason, the truth is this. Inside a small garage in Pleasant Grove, Utah, 7 children never had a chance to live. This has been Behind the Crime Tape. If you found this case as haunting as we did, let us know your thoughts below. Do you believe this was a tragedy of addiction or a mother who simply didn't want to be one? Like, comment, and subscribe. And join us next time as we pull back the tape on another true crime that hid in plain sight.